Good morning. My name is Gino Matthews, and I am one of the faculties at Al Hayat Medical Consultancies, and we specialize in OET and IELTS training. So the reason why I am here today is to talk to you about a recent development that OET has announced in the way it is going to take its examination or conduct its examinations. OET has announced that they are going to conduct OET examinations at home through remote proctoring monitoring. So basically, I got a lot of inquiries about this. A lot of people asked me what do you actually mean by remote proctoring. So I thought of maybe coming up online and talking to you on this and sharing what I know about remote proctoring. So basically, what you mean by remote proctoring is that there would be a person who will be monitoring you throughout your test remotely. That means you will be taking up the test from your environment at your home, and there will be a person or a proctor in this case. That person who is monitoring you is known as proctor. He will be monitoring your examinations from home. This proctoring, remote proctoring, where a person will be monitoring you remotely, like what I've told you, could happen in two ways. The first way is that you may have, which is known as automated remote proctoring. So by automated remote proctoring, what we mean is that there will not be a physical person sitting and trying to monitor you. Instead of a physical person, there will be some algorithms or artificial intelligence trying to find out whether you are indulging in any kind of malpractice or any other kind of activities that is happening which may compromise the authenticity of the examinations. So the way there will be algorithms or artificial intelligence being used to specifically monitor your eye movements, or sometimes they may be looking on for your surroundings to analyze and find out if there is any kind of possibility of any malpractice happening throughout. So this is one type of proctoring. At the same time, there are some examiners also prefer manual proctoring or in-person proctoring is what we call them. So by in-person proctoring, what we mean is that instead of an artificial intelligent computer or an algorithm trying to monitor you, there will be a physical person sitting and trying to assess and find out if there is any kind of malpractice or any other kind of problems happening throughout your examination. So these are the main two types of proctoring that we usually see when it comes to remote proctoring tests. Okay, before I go any further, let me remind you that OET is conducting this remote proctorer examination on a trial basis. They just want to find out if it is feasible for them to conduct it as a regular examination. So it's not something that you should be much worried about. Okay, anyway, coming back to the things that I was telling you. To conduct a remote proctor examination or to appear in a remote proctor examination, the candidate needs to have some requirements, or they have to fulfill some technical requirements. Like the candidate needs to have a webcam, a laptop, headphones, and a stable internet connection. And of course, you need to have a quiet and a calm room so that you don't get usually disturbed while you are in the examination. So these are some of the requirements that you have. Technical requirements that the candidate needs to fulfill before they appear for this examination. Okay, so now I am going to tell you how this examination is conducted. Okay, now how the test has been taken. Basically, this test, there are two teams that are involved in this examination. So one is known as a compatibility checklist team, or a team which is going to find out if the equipments that you are having at your home is compatible to take up the examination. They look for the type of web camera that you have. That they will look for if your laptop is compatible to download the software on which you will be conducting the examination. You will be taking up the test, and all such kind of technical requirements will be monitored and assessed, and will be checked for if it is okay. And that is done by the readiness team. The next thing that happens is that you will have a continuous monitoring team. There will be a team which will be monitoring you throughout this examination when it is happening. So they will look for any kind of, or they are the people who are known as the remote proctors or the invigilators will be like, in our normal terms we call them as invigilators. They'll be looking at you throughout your examination to find out if there is any kind of breach happening or any kind of sheen activities happening throughout your examination. So these are the two teams involved in this examination. So when we talk about the job, what the continuous monitoring team does, as I already discussed, they'll find out whether your equipment is compatible to take the examination, and after that when the test administrator comes in, he'll start with trying to find, he'll initially walk you through the procedures of the test to tell you how you have to go through the test and what are the factors. He'll tell you to turn the camera 360 degree around your room to find out if it is suitable for the examination, and if you have any kind of equipments or any kind of things that you have around you, like your textbook or a notes or any other kind of things that shouldn't be present in an examination. He'll be looking for all those things before he starts the examination. So for that procedure, you will be asked to revolve your camera 360 degree around your room to check for all these kind of things. Okay. Another most important thing that you have to know is that you will be asked to install a software on your computer before you take up this examination, and once this computer or once the software is installed on this computer, your computer will be temporarily disabled for any other functions than using the software. By that what I mean is that you will not be able to use any other normal features that you have on your computer, like accessing internet or any other kind of features that you might normally use on a computer. So this is to ensure that you don't have access to any other support materials while you are taking up this examination. Okay, so this is what remote proctoring looks like, or OET remote proctoring examination will look like for the people who are not much sure what it is exactly. So I think this might be very useful because it is a new concept and we don't have much people who know much about this, how this remote proctoring. But to my knowledge, this remote proctoring examinations have been conducted throughout different universities and throughout multiple educational institutions for approximately for the past 10 years or so. So I think it is not so popular, but still it is very widely used. There are a lot of examinations and tests which are conducted through this process. So OET is now trying to look to include this as a mainstream method to conduct OET examinations, and that is and they want to conduct a test for this to find out if it is feasible for everybody to take up this examination, and that is the reason why we are having this OET at home concept coming up for our students. So I personally believe that this might be very helpful for you in order to learn this new method of examination, and you may be very fascinated to know how it happens. Okay, anyway, so if you still have any doubts or if you still have any problems or clarifications regarding any other aspects of OET at home or any other aspects of remote proctoring examinations, please feel to message me, or you can post it as a comment and I'll ensure that I'll answer that. And if you still have any if you need any clarifications or if you have any doubts on anything that I told you throughout this video, please feel to ask me and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much.